I am Mariette Sidibe and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Karaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main local and sports news headlines. The mayor of the Kanifing municipality, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, on Friday renewed his stance to eradicate all forms of corruption at a press conference on the council's alleged corruption scandal involving its CEO and finance director. We went out and about to see whether the public is adhering to preventive guidelines to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the face of the Delta variant. In the latest of our special reports about the conditions in our markets, we pay a visit to Latrekunda Sabiji Market. In sports news, former Gambia and Norway sprinter Jaisuma Seydindur tells us decades of lack of resources is still hampering the progress of Gambia's athletes. The Q Group-sponsored football tournament in Basse has been boosted by a donation of sports gear to the Basse Sports Committee by Soccer Gear for Gambia. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. The mayor of the Kanifing municipality, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, on Friday renewed his stance to eradicate all forms of corruption as the council's alleged corruption scandal involving its CEO and finance director deepens. However, the Ministry of Lands said the council has acted outside its powers. Alusise reports.
Facing the press for the second time since the alleged corruption scandal surfaced, Mayor Talib Bensouda told journalists that the council has worked with the bank to recover additional funds from what he calls an unapproved land loan amounting to $12 million by the suspended KMC CEO Senabu Martin Sonko and KMC Director of Finance Aliu Keita. He reveals that $2.4 million has been returned to the account of KMC Staff Welfare Association, saying this has reduced the balance of the missing funds to $900,000. The KMC had filed a complaint against the two officials with the first squad of the Gambia Police Force for further investigation of the matter. Both the CEO and the finance director were invited by the police and statements obtained.
The people of KMC are tired of corruption and the council will do everything in its power to eradicate it. We expect that she will continue to respect the council resolutions and respect the terms of her leave until called upon.
In a statement issued by its permanent secretary, Buba Sanyang, seen by QTV, the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government says Mayor Bensouda has overstepped his powers after he announced at his press conference about the matter the resolution of the General Council meeting sending on indefinite leave the concerned officials and withdrawing their statutory allowances. It said the mayor had failed to follow procedures by announcing the suspension before sending a formal report to the ministry, as requested by the minister when Mayor Bensouda visited him. In that meeting, Mr. Drame reiterated his position on the normal procedure as per the Local Government Act 2002, particularly the appointment and disciplinary matters that are solely vested in the Local Government Service Commission. He urged the council through the Lord Mayor to rescind council's earlier decision that is unlawful and improper. End of quote, the statement stated. In the exchange of correspondence with the council, the ministry maintains that the council has acted outside its powers and has resolved to dispatch an inspection team based on provisions of the Local Government Act. The ministry admonished the KMC to allow officials unlawfully sent on indefinite leave to participate in the recommended inspections. To the minister's amusement, while the inspectors were allowed entry into the KMC premises, the suspended officials were denied access even before the arrival of the inspectors. Therefore, the ministry intends to execute its full responsibility, strictly adhering to the Local Government Act 2002, failing which the full force of the law will be applied. End of quote. The mayor said the council will facilitate the work of inspectors as provided in the Local Government Act. However, the council resolved to maintain its previous resolution, except that it has agreed to payment of salaries and entitlements to the two officials pending the outcome of the investigations. While the mayor is being praised for fighting corruption, others have accused him of covering up his former deputy mayor Pamusaba on the purported audio recording widely shared on social media, where what appears to be Ba's voice is heard requesting kickbacks from a contract deal with Ecotech. Ba has resigned based on what he calls personal grounds. He has been replaced by Binta Jane Jallow. However, he revealed that an investigation panel comprising councillors and technical experts has been constituted to investigate Mr. Ba's case.
What has happened is these are very unfortunate things. These are a series of events that really caught me off guard. I did not expect these sorts of things to happen. But then again, I cannot comment on things that are alleged. I think these things are alleged, and investigations are going on for both sides.
KMC councillors, through youth representative Kemo Bojang, strongly condemn what they see as selective interference by the Lands Minister, Musa Drame.
We have lost confidence in the ministry that with all that has happened, they are aiding and abetting people who were hell-bent on squandering millions. As councillors, we believe that the Local Government Service Commission is the right authority to reply to our letters and not the minister.
QTV couldn't reach the suspended CEO Senabu Martin Sonko for comment, but in recent media interviews, she has strongly denied the allegations leveled against her. She told journalists that she is following the due process and shall provide all the facts at the right time without interfering with the ongoing investigation. She had confirmed being summoned by the police. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Following warnings by the Ministry of Health and the Director of the Medical Research Council, MRC, that the new Delta variant is more deadly and spreading rapidly in the Gambia, QTV's Aji Bintu Drame went to find out whether the public is adhering to preventive guidelines to curb the spread.
As the world is hit by the third wave of the deadly coronavirus, Gambian authorities have ordered the mandatory wearing of face masks and urged people to get vaccinated to stem down and prevent the further spread of the virus. However, most of the people in the streets are still not wearing masks, and some of those who do are not wearing it the right way. Others carry masks in their bags and don't wear them. Where once there was vaccine hesitancy, there now appears to me mask-wearing hesitancy. It appears the sweltering heat has discouraged some from wearing masks. Some of them share their thoughts. If I wear it for a long time, I can't breathe properly. That is why I took it off and put it in my bag. Wearing a mask is essential because it protects us and people around us, because you don't know who has the virus. It is true that what I did is wrong because I have just put on my mask, thanks to you. So people should observe the WHO guidelines and be vaccinated. I will be taking mine soon.
Because I just pulled the mask right time because of the hot. Yes, it suffocates me a lot, so that's why. But it's good. I tell people from where they use masks because me I use it. Yes, for this one it's example now. Yes, you see, I have my mask. You see, so I use it. So it's good.
Have you been vaccinated?
No, not yet, but I want to do it very soon.
With the virus having mutated to a new variant, the Delta variant, which scientists say is more contagious and spreads faster, this has prompted the authorities to encourage people to be vaccinated. A few months ago, people were reluctant to take the vaccine. For some, it is due to myths being spread about the vaccine. Now, people are coming out in numbers to get vaccinated.
Feebar bi du fi rek la nekk aduna bi yëpp la fi nekk so nit du la sante loo xamantene lu jàmm ci yow soo bañee yow yaa nekk di lor sa bopp.
This virus is not only in the Gambia, it's in the whole world. So being reluctant to wear a mask is harmful. We must try and fight the virus for our own benefit. What allows people to go about their daily business and help their families is because they are in good health.
Feebar bi nekk ci aduna bi yëpp lii moo ñu dimbale max bi moo ñu dimbale ci feebar yi max bi dafa baax torop.
The benefits of wearing a face mask stop us getting infected. Therefore, it's very important. I always wear my mask. I wish everybody would wear face masks to protect ourselves and our family. So far, up to 4th August, the Gambia has recorded 113 new cases, with 5 new deaths linked to the virus from the previous day. At that date, there were 844 total active cases, with 238 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. There have been 7,423 recoveries out of 8,505 total cases. Meanwhile, 31,254 people have received the first dose of the vaccine, and 12,303 are fully vaccinated. Aji Bintu Drame, QTV News.
In our effort to assess the condition of major markets within the Greater Banjul and Kanifing municipality, QTV's Lolly M. Kamara visited the Latrikunda Sabiji market, and this is our report.
Latrikunda Sabiji market is another busy place attracting vendors and customers daily. Many I spoke to said the state of the market during the rainy season is unbearable, making sales more difficult. Mariama Sise, a vendor, said she has been in this business for many years and describes the current situation of the market as unbearable.
Because they're not tabi dajal, auto baby faring jelen. Yale bak tabi loje faring. Bidin soma nanga baka sola ni moluma lodu la soto firo tekel.
Our market is full of problems. As you can see, just beside my table is water everywhere. Customers can't even have a place to stand. And the sad thing is, I pay the daily duty of $10, and I don't know where it is spent.
Juldenjai Saware, a buyer, also explained the current condition of the market.
If you're coming to the market, you wonder if you're even going for a combat because you have to make preparations to come, the clothes you wear, the shoes you wear, all these things you have to put into consideration before even coming to the market.
Mrs. Njai Sware further appealed to KMC to come to the aid of women selling at this market.
Although they are really doing a good job when it comes to the renovation and all that, but I think that I feel that a lot need to be done when it comes to the market, because women are really suffering in this market when they're coming here in the rainy season.
A vendor, Hadinjai, has arranged her product on the floor, and I asked her why.
I am outside because I don't have a place inside. And here, when it rains, insects can be seen everywhere. It is not conducive and healthy at all.
Fatu Sanyang spoke about the insufficient water supply, saying they have only one tap at the market. I asked Modunjai, the market manager, for a response to some of the concerns raised by vendors.
Area that is very muddy. That is where these women have their fridges, where some of their fish are being kept. And then these fridges, they normally put ice blocks. So when they melt, it goes down. So that is just behind where we have the dump site. So when council realized it, they have decided to dock a sockaway, which is purely for wastewater. For this fish, we have almost 2 sockaways which are for wastewater, and we're working towards the 3rd one.
On the issue of the daily duty collected from women vendors, Modunjai explains again.
Those with tables are the ones paying, $10 a day. But if they're saying that they have not seen anything in return, I will not be in line with them, simply because you yourself have seen that there is an ongoing project in trying to construct a drain within the market to make easy flow of rainwater. We have constructed a sockaway, a new sockaway there, where you have wastewater being poured. You have seen a skip bucket on the ground, which was in there, to be honest, and extra 2 taps have been brought in. There was 1 at the beginning, but after we have brought 2. 1 is within the new building and the other one is around the Sandika.
Many who spoke to us off camera recommended that KMC and the government should fix the problems in the market. The market manager, Modunjai, said plans are underway to develop and implement projects at the market and urge people to exercise more patience. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we will have some more local and sports news stories.
Sign Language Interpretation Service is proudly supported by the UNDP Accelerator Lab.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Are Are you ready for some great news? I'm Christine Mundwa.
And I am Eddie Micah Jr. with the brand new DW News Africa,
The show that tackles the issues shaping the continent.
now with more time to offer an in-depth look at all the trends that matter to you.
What's making the headlines and what's behind them?
We're on the streets to give you in-depth reports and insights.
DW News Africa, every Friday, 11:30 p.m. and Saturday, 7 p.m. on QTV.
Welcome back from that commercial break. Young Teachers Platform on Thursday held its General Assembly to elect its executive and promote the welfare and interest of young teachers. Omar P. Jallo reports.
The Young Teachers Platform is created to complement the efforts and activities of teachers groups, particularly the young teachers, who form the bulk of the profession. Members say the creation of the platform fulfills a constitutional provision of the Gambia Teachers Union, which is the umbrella body of the Gambia teachers. At the event, a new and first executive will be formed and guidelines developed and ratified to establish the structures and form policy to empower young teachers. In her opening remarks, the General Secretary of the Gambia Teachers Union, Marie Antoinette Kaur, said the Young Teachers Platform is established to serve and champion the interests of young teachers, adding that young people are not only the future of the union, but the present heartbeat of the union, thus the need to allow them to be in leadership roles.
We need to organize and mobilize. We need to get young educators and women into the teacher trade union movement and give them the space to contribute, to lead and shine.
The president of the Gambia Teachers Union, Ismaila Cisse, said the creation of the GTU-YTP recognizes the need to include young teachers in the GTU's affairs, adding that the GTU has the desire to see young people contribute positively to the trade union work through the creation of an enabling environment which will allow young teachers to take up leadership of the union.
The GTU has been in existence for 84 years now. If it was not relevant, it will not have stood the test of time. It would have collapsed.
The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Louis Moses Mendy, who was the guest speaker at the occasion, praised the GTU leadership and had some advice for young teachers.
The Gambia that we will live in 25 years to come would depend on your actions today. If Mr. Juve and colleagues have quitted 25 years ago, today you will not be celebrated worldwide as one of the best GTU CCU in the world. But their actions that 25 years ago is the welfare that you live in today. And that's my challenge for you.
Delivering the vote of thanks, the vice chairperson of the Young Teachers Platform, Adama K. Balde, said the Young Teachers Platform will help empower teachers to influence policy both at the Gambia Teachers Union and government level.
And I hope, as already stated by one of the speakers, that as we go back to our respective regions, as we go back to our respective clusters, we will give feedbacks as expected of us.
The interim executive committee selection was conducted by the National Executive Committee of the GTU through wider consultation with regional chairpersons. The event also saw the sharing of the GTU youth policy for scrutiny to avail delegates the opportunity to make recommendations where necessary. When reviewed and approved, the document will serve as the union's working document in relation to young people within the union. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Now on to sports news. Former Gambia and Norway sprinter Jaisuma Seydin Dur says decades of lack of resources is still hampering the progress of Gambia's athletes. He made this remark in an interview with QTV after watching Gina Baz run in the women's 200 meters at the Tokyo Games. Momodu Gajaga reports.
The sprint coach of the Saudi Arabia Athletics Association has over 20 years' experience as an athlete, coach and trainer. Jaisuma Sedindur says a lack of structure in administration of sports, poor infrastructure and little or a lack of financial reward for athletes hampers their development.
So every Gambian, every sportsman in Gambia or sportswoman are talents. The thing that we lack over there is just the knowledge, like how to teach them, how to become better, you understand? And that has to do with like leadership. So everything has a structure, so you have to treat it as a business, you see? So running is a business.
Jaisuma Sedindur is a 4-time Olympian who ran for Gambia in the Athens Olympic Games in 2004 before switching allegiance to Norway, representing them in the Beijing, London and Rio Games. He says the main reasons he switched nationality to run for Norway instead of Gambia are some of the challenges faced by today's Gambian athletes.
Athletes in Gambia, so like if you understand, have the resources like that most athletes, even in Africa, like the Ghanaian athletes, they're like even having better resources and like better, they were well more organized than we were. So like I used to see some of them coming to practice with no money to go back home. Some of them used to walk from like Bakau, the stadium also, all the way to Serekunda or like wherever it is that like they were living. This was like this was their lives. So like and knowing that like they're coming from like not like the best homes and stuff, and then like not knowing if they're gonna be like eating dinners even like after these practices and stuff. So like but when it comes to like representing the country, so you need a backing from your country. But with this that federation that we had over there, I used to be asking them just to bring my coach in our Olympic Games. They wouldn't bring my coach.
Despite the shortage of resources like infrastructure, Jaisuma acknowledged that there are many raw talents in the country, not only in athletics, like track and field, but other sports. He added that he will offer his expertise to support the development of young athletes, citing Guinea-Bissau as an example.
We have like the best talented athletes in the world. Just Gina today was showing me that like we can be out there competing with the best of the best. You need help. You need help as an athlete. So like when it comes to like Africa, so we have like coaches that can bring you to certain levels, and then like then you'll need someone else with better experience to bring you to that next level. So like when I see like these athletes that we have, so already in my head, so I know what they need.
Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
The Q Group-sponsored football tournament in Basse has been boosted by a donation of sports gear to the Basse Sports Committee by Soccer Gear for Gambia. Alhaji A.F. Jallo reports.
The latest support includes communication sets and uniforms for referees, goalpost nets, footballs, and jerseys. At the event at the Basse Mini Stadium, Sambatako FC locked horns with Kumbija FC to compete for a qualification spot in the second round of the tournament, locally called Nawetan. Within the 10 minutes of the first half, Sambatako netted the first goal, an indication that it was likely to be a match full of goals, and so it turned out to be. The match ended with Sambatako beating Kumbija by 3-1. Samuel Jatta scoring the 2 early goals and Abrahman Balde netting the final goal from the penalty spot for Sambatako FC. Kumbija managed to grab a consolation in the dying minutes of the game. The chairman of Basse Sports Committee, Malan Kambai, said the Q Group and Soccer Gear has been good partners in their drive to organizing seasonal football tournaments. He called on the Ministry of Sports and the Gambia Football Federation to help improve the Basse Mini Stadium.
We have been working with QCL for the past 4 or 5 years now. So every year they used to sponsor our first trophy in this Basse Mini Stadium here. Besides that, also we have another brother, a philanthropy, who is definitely supporting the region, supporting the entire region, the Gambia at large. He is behind all our sporting materials, our sporting gears. Definitely, if the integration of the field has been improved, Alaji is going to take sports to any level that we don't even think of. We have talents in this region. We have people who can play good football in this region. We have the boys who can play very good football in this region. But definitely the pitch is our problem. The pitch is our main problem. And we are definitely appealing to the government of the day, especially the ministry, under the government to help us at least do something about this field, because this is the only field that we have in this region as mini stadium.
Saiba Krubali, a referee, thanked Soccer for the donation, adding that it will improve and promote football.
Anyway, he's a man that, doesn't want us to mention his name, but he's really doing a big thing for you Arab people here, especially with the referees. Because as at now, we even have communication, which is now making our work very easily. Now, in the field, as a referee, you'll be playing, you don't see something, but your assistants will just communicate you directly. Really, it's going to give a very big improvement. Like now, even the players themselves now are enjoying the matches, because when we are playing football now in the field as referees, we'll be playing, central referee will be going, and there can be something happening behind, which the referee will not see, but the two assistants will see directly and they communicate to you.
The captains of two teams thank the Soccer and the Q Group for their support. These jerseys were donated to us by Soccer for Gambia. Since the tournament started, we thank God it has been going smoothly. We want to appeal to the committee to work diligently and help football clubs. In 2018, the Q Group signed a 5-year deal with the Basse Sports Committee and has been providing support to the committee, who have been organizing seasonal football tournaments known as Nawetans. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alaji A.F. Jalo.
That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you for watching and have a nice weekend.